A warm greetings to one and all. In this session, let's learn about selection statements in control structures. Selection statement is mainly used to decide the path of the program to be executed. So let's have a flowchart for selection statement. Code starts here. We have a condition. If condition is true, a set of code will be executed. If condition is false, another set of code will be executed and program gets terminated here. There are various types of selection statements, namely if statement, switch statement, and in addition to that, we have question mark colon operator in selection statements. Now let's learn about if statement. If statement is one of the types of selection statement. Here, the path is selected based on the condition. So let's check out the flowchart for if statement. So the code starts here. We have a condition, if condition. If condition is true, we'll be having a code inside the if condition. So that will be executed. If condition is false, we will be moving to the code after the if condition. Finally, the code gets terminated here. The syntax for each statement is if condition, opening curly parenthesis, followed by statements to be executed for the if condition is true, finally ended with closed curly parenthesis. Let's have an example program for if statement. In main function, we have declared the variable marks of integer data type, and using cout statement, we have displayed write a marks statement to the user. Using cin statement, we have obtained the value for the variable marks from the user. Then by using if condition, we are verifying that the value for marks is greater than or equal to 50. And if it is greater than 50, we can display the message that you are eligible for admission to the user using cout statement. Then return statement is given. So we can see how the program gets executed. Using cout statement, write a mark statement will be displayed to the user. We can see here in this output. When using cin statement, we have obtained the value for the variable marks. We can see here 60 is obtained from the user. Then we have verified the value for the variable marks is greater than or equal to 50. So here it is 60, it is greater than. So using cout statement, we have displayed the statement you are eligible for admission as shown in the output. Hope you are clear in if statement. Now let's learn about if-else statement. It is also a type of decision-making system. It is executed mainly based on the specified condition. If condition is true, the code inside the if block will be executed. If condition is false, code inside the else block will be executed. Let's have a flowchart for if-else statement. So code starts here. We have a if condition here. If condition is true, the code inside the if block will be executed. If code condition is false, the code inside the else block will be executed. Finally, we will be moved to the code after the if statement and code gets terminated here. Next, let's see the syntax. If condition followed by open curly parenthesis, then we'll be having the statements for true part, then ended with closed curly parenthesis. Next, else followed by open curly parenthesis. We'll be having the statements for else block, finally ended with closed curly parenthesis. So this is the syntax for if-else statement. Now let's have an example for if-else statement. So in main function, we have the variable age of data type integer. Using cout statement, we have displayed the statement enter your age to the user. Then using cin statement, we have obtained the value for the variable age from the user. Then using if statement, we have verified that the value for the variable age is greater than or equal to 18. If it is greater than or equal to 18, using cout statement, we have displayed that you are eligible for vote to the user. If variable age is having less than 18, then the execution moves to the else part. So in else part, you are not eligible for vote is being displayed to the user using cout statement, and finally return part is being given. Now let's see how the program gets executed. So first, enter your age is being displayed to the user, which is being shown in the output. The user has given the value 20 for the variable age. So in if condition, it checks that 20 is greater than 80. So we get the output you are eligible for vote as displayed in the output. So in next output, we can see that user has given the value 10. So 10 is less than 18. So the if part will not be executed. Instead, the else part will be executed. In else part, you are not eligible for vote is being displayed to the user using cout statement. We can see it has been displayed to the user in the output. Hope you are clear on if else statement. Next, let's learn about if else if later statement. So it is mainly used to decide from among multiple options and it has been executed from top down. Normally, all the if statements are being executed from top down approach. So as soon as a condition is true in any of the if else if later, the statement associated with the if will be executed and rest of the else if later will be bypassed. If none of the condition is true, then final statement will be executed in if else if later. Now let's check out the flowchart for if else if later. So the code starts here. We have condition 1. If condition 1 is true, then statement 1 will be executed and the entire program control moves to the next statement. If condition 1 is false, it moves to the condition 2. If condition 2 is true, it executes the statement 2, then it moves to the next statement. If condition 2 is false, it moves to the condition n, and if condition n is true, it executes the statement n and moves to the next statement of the code. If condition else is false, finally, the last statement n has been executed and moves to the next statement of the code. So this is how if else if later statement execution takes place. Let's have a syntax for if else if later statement. So if condition is given and we have open curly parenthesis, within that we have statement 1 ended with closed curly parenthesis. Then we have else if condition. We have statement for else if condition and ended with closed curly parenthesis. So finally, at last, we have an else part. If none of the condition is true, this final statement will be executed here. So we have an open curly parenthesis, we have a statement. Finally, it is ended with closed curly parenthesis. Let's have an example program for if else if later statement. So in this main function, we have declared the variable I of integer data type. Using cout statement, we have displayed to the user that enter the any number. Using cin statement, we have got the inputs for the variable I from the user. Next, if statement is being given here. If I, which should be greater than or equal to 0 and I should be less than or equal to 10. If so, using cout statement, I is between 0 and 10 is displayed to the user. Next, else if part. In else if part, I should be greater than or equal to 11 and I should be less than or equal to 15. If so, using cout statement, I is between 11 and 15 is displayed to the user. Next, else if condition where I should be greater than or equal to 16 and I should be less than or equal to 20. If so, in cout statement, I is between 16 and 20 is displayed to the user. Finally, we have else part here. So in else, we have displayed that I is greater than 20 using cout statement to the user. This else part will be executed if any of the if condition is not satisfied. So let's see the execution here. So in this output, we have given enter any number statement to the user. So it has been given to the user as shown in the output. User has given the value 6. So using 6 as an input, the condition checks whether I is greater than or equal to 0 and I is less than or equal to 10. Yes. So this condition gets true here and the value I is between 0 and 10 is displayed to the user. We can see in the output it has been displayed to the user. Next, let's have another output example. So here, enter any number is being displayed to the user as shown in the main method. So user has given the value 20. So 20, we are checking in the first condition. I should be greater than or equal to 0 and I should be less than or equal to 10. Since 20 is not applicable for this condition, it moves to the next else if. So here I should be greater than or equal to 11 and I should be less than or equal to 15. So here also the condition is false. So it moves to the next if. So here I should be greater than or equal to 16 and I should be less than or equal to 20. If so, Cout statement I is between 16 and 20 is displayed to the user. So the condition satisfied here and it has been displayed to the user as I is between 16 and 20. Now let's learn about nested if-else statement. So nested if-else statement has an if statement inside another if-else statement. It is mainly used to implement the multi-layer condition, that is a condition inside another condition and so on. In C++, it allows any number of nesting levels. We have a flowchart for nested if-else statement here. So the code starts here. We have condition 1. If condition 1 is false, we have to execute the statement 1 and we have to move to the statement 4 and the code gets terminated here. If condition 1 is true, we have to execute the next code, that is condition 2. If condition 2 is true, we have to execute the statement 3 and then we have to execute the statement 4 and finally the code gets terminated here. Else, if condition 2 is false, we have to execute the statement 2 and then we have to execute the statement 4 and we have to terminate the code here. Next, syntax for nested if-else statement. So if condition 1 has been given here, followed by a statements for if condition, and inside this condition 1 we have another condition, condition 2. So if this is true, we'll be having a set of statements to be executed. If it is false, we have an else part and we have set of statements to be executed for condition 2 else part. Then we have the else part for condition 1. There we have a set of statements to be executed in else part. So this is the syntax for nested if-else statement. Let's have an example program for nested if-else statement. So in main function, we have declared the variable num of integer data type, and using cout statement, we have displayed this statement enter an integer to the user. Using cin statement, we have obtained the value for the variable num from the user. Then if condition is being given here, if num is not equal to 0, then we have another nested if statement here. So if num greater than 0, we have to display to the user using cout statement that the number is positive. Else, we have to display to the user that number is negative using cout statement. So here the inner condition, that is condition 2, is being having both if part and else part. So it is being completed here. Now we are moving to the else part for the first condition. So using cout statement, the number is 0 if it is neither positive or negative is being displayed to the user. So we have completed the else part for the condition 1 also. Next, using cout statement, this line is always printed is displayed to the user. Next, return 0. This program gets entered here. Now let's see the execution of the code. So using cout statement, we have displayed enter an integer to the user. We can see in the output, enter an integer has been displayed to the user. User has given -1 as an input. So using cin statement, we have obtained the value -1 for the variable num. Now using if condition, we are checking the value of num as not equal to 0. Actually, it is not equal to 0. So the condition gets true and move inside to the next statement. So here we have another condition. If number is greater than 0. So it is not greater than 0. So this if part has been skipped and moved to the else part. So in else part, it prints that cout the number is negative number. We can see that the number is negative number as displayed to the user. Since the if condition is true here, the else part has been skipped and the next statement cout, that is this line is always printed, has been displayed to the user, and finally the program gets ended here. Let's have another example here. So using enter an integer statement which is given through cout statement to the user has given the value 6 for the variable num and it is obtained through cin statement. Now we have to verify this number is not equal to 0. Yes, the number is not equal to 0. So we have to check if number is greater than 0. Yes, the number is greater than 0. So we have to print the number is positive. We can see that the number is positive is being printed here. Since the if condition is true, we have to skip this else part and we move to the next statement. Here it is else part. Since the first if statement is true, the else part has been skipped here. So we have to execute the statement cout, that is, the line is always printed. So it has been printed and the program gets terminated here. We can have another example also here. So using the cout statement, enter an integer has been displayed to the user. User has given 0. So here the 0 is being obtained by the program using cin statement. And here if number is not equal to 0, yes, the number is not equal to 0. So this entire if part is being skipped and moved to this else part. So here using cout statement, we have displayed that the number is 0 and it is neither positive nor negative. It's been displayed to the user. We can see this in the output here. Then the next statement is cout, this line is always printed, has been displayed to the user as shown in the output. And finally, the program gets terminated. So hope you are clear in nested if-else statement. So next, switch statement. It is mainly used to execute the different blocks of the statement based on the value of the expressions. So we can create different cases for different values of the switch expressions. So here we can specify any number of cases in the switch statement, but the case value can be of the data type, either integer or character. Now let's have the flowchart for switch statement. So switch statement has the expression. So based on the value of this expression, we need to select the case. If case 1 get matched with the expression value, then we have to execute the statement 1 of case 1. Then we can end the switch. Else we have to check with case 2. If the expression value matches with the case 2 value, we have to execute the statements which is available in case 2. Then we can end the switch case. Similarly, we have to find the match for the case values which is equivalent to the expression value. If match found, we have to execute the statement associated with the case and we have to end up the switch case. If any of the case is not matched with the expression value, then we have to execute the default statement. Then we have to break the switch statement. Now let's have the syntax for switch statement. Switch is a keyword followed by expression. The switch block is opened by open curly parenthesis. Then we have case value 1 ended with colon, which has its own statement ended with break followed by semicolon. Similarly, we can have a number of cases. At last, we have default block with default statement ended with break semicolon. Finally, we can end the switch block by closed curly parenthesis. Now let's have an example program for switch statement. So in this main function, we have declared the variable var of integer data type, and using cout statement, we have displayed enter numbers between 1 to 3 to the user. Then using cin statement, we have obtained the value for the variable var from the user. In switch case, we have passed the value of the variable var, and then we have three cases, case 1, case 2, and case 3 defined here. In case 1, we have displayed case 1 is executed to the user. In case 2, we have displayed case 2 is executed to the user. In case 3, we have displayed case 3 is executed to the user. If any of these three case value is not matched with the input which we have obtained from the user, then the default case will be executed. So here in default, we have displayed only three cases are available to the user, and finally the program gets terminated here. Now let's see how the program gets executed. So enter numbers between 1 to 3 is being displayed to the user. The user has given the value 1. So the value of the variable 1 has been retrieved by the program using cin statement. So now the switch case has the value 1. It matches with case 1. So we can display that case 1 is executed to the user and the program gets terminated here. In next output, we can see that the user has given the value 2 for the variable var. So now switch case has the value 2 and it matches with the case 2. So case 2 is executed as displayed to the user and the program gets terminated here. In next example, we can see that the user has given the value 4. So the value 4 is not matched with any of the cases. So the default case is being executed and only three cases is available is displayed to the user and the program gets terminated here. So hope you all are clear in switch statement. Thank you all.